Hey, Fort Wayne, welcome to another episode of Fort Wayne Footy. This is a special time of year for me as a dad, as a coach, because high school soccer season kicks off tomorrow for many schools and tryouts around the area. It's going to be an exciting time. We're going to do some coverage of some local high school teams, some local college teams. We'll have some coaches here on the show. We've got club season starting for younger, below high school. I think that's U13. Am I correct in saying that? Coaches, sure. Autumn, Micah. Yeah, I forget what age group that is. Whatever age group is below high school, they're kicking off club season here real soon. And season tickets are flying out the door, it sounds like. At least deposits are coming in like crazy for Fort Wayne FC. And so lots of stuff happening, even in the Fort Wayne FC off season. There's going to be player signings. There's going to be new announcements. There's going to be stadium updates. All this that we're going to do our best to cover for you here in Fort Wayne. Lots of exciting things. But we're going to get into tonight's show. And tonight is an exciting show because in just a few minutes, we've got David Gerson from Refs Need Love 2. If you've seen him, he's on TikTok, he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram, he's all over the place. His main website is refsneedlove2.com. And I'll let him tell you about their mission and what they do. And it's going to be an exciting show, a great interview with David. But before he comes on, I got to introduce you to some other folks that are here on the screen with me tonight. And I'll start with Dustin Diller, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to get into our discussion. Had a good weekend down in Indianapolis this weekend. Saw some Indy 11 play last night. Unfortunately, they lost 3-1. Honestly,
who last night?
They played Tampa Bay Rowdies last night.
Oh, the Rowdies. Okay.
They're last in the division, and they lost 3-1. So
Rowdies usually have a good team.
Yeah, the whole table has been pretty consistent and close in their schedule and their record, but they were in last place and we played not great. So it was interesting. It was interesting to see the play from what we're used to. I mean, USL Championship to USL 2, which is where Fort Wayne FC has been. I was expecting a little bit more and didn't really see it. So, in fact, Jack said to me at one point, he goes, Fort Wayne FC would give them a run for their money with how they're playing right now. Now, that was just last night. I don't know consistently, but yeah. So it was interesting. It was good. It was a beautiful night. I mean, the weather's been beautiful here, so it was great for soccer.
Yeah. That's cool. Did they give away boom whackers like they do here?
No, and I sent you guys a picture. No, they gave out towels and not boom whackers.
Oh, towels that you could snap your parents with.
Nope. There was no snapping of parents.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night for soccer last night. I'm glad you got down to Indy to enjoy that match. And when we get to USL 1, we're gonna have games even now, right through the summer. It's going to be a much longer season. We'll talk about that maybe later in the show. Dustin, glad to have you. Micah, how you doing tonight, man?
Good. Just trying to enjoy my pretty much my last free weekend until mid-November, hopefully. Yeah, spent the day pumping up 40 new soccer balls. Was able to listen to some of David's podcasts while I was doing that. So, but yeah, tomorrow's teacher conference or teacher meetings start tomorrow. I have parent teacher meetings throughout the week. U13s, my team starts tomorrow. Obviously, high school starts tomorrow. So everything is going to get very chaotic really quickly.
Yeah. Do you have like 2-a-days tomorrow, or is it just morning practices, or what?
I just do one practice. For me as a coach, if I can get cover everything in an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I always less is more from my perspective. So try to keep things quick, keep things short, make sure they're engaging. I just find when you do those 2-a-days, what do you do? Like my son, his boys team plays, I think they have 6 hours of soccer tomorrow. 3-hour session in the morning, 3-hour session in the afternoon. And I'm like, I don't know if I could coach that long. I don't know if I have 6 hours worth of activities to engage the kids. So but yeah, I mean, it's just different philosophies, different perspectives.
Yeah. And I've heard that a lot of, even professional teams will go to shorter practices so you can keep people moving and it's bang, bang, bang. You're always, you're active. A game is 90 minutes. And so if you can get a solid practice with a lot of touches in 90 minutes, I think there's something to that. That's never how my coaches that I ran practice. So maybe that's a new philosophy. I don't know.
Brian.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, even from a fitness standpoint, when I took over this program a couple of years ago, they were shocked that I don't do a lot of fitness in training. Because again, if I design my practices correctly, they're moving for 90 minutes. That should, in soccer related activities, that should be all the fitness that they need to carry them through. So I don't, could be wrong. That's just how I've always ran it.
Autumn, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Brian. How are you?
Doing well. It's good to have you.
Thanks.
Always good to have you. We hate firing you, but we're glad you're here.
Same.
I'm glad
I hate
both of
firing
you guys. I'm glad both of you guys are here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mutual tonight. Yeah.
I
You see how I was polite and asked how he was doing. I'm trying here.
Yeah.
Okay?
See? My question, Autumn, for you is: do you play Concordia this year? And did you hear their coach just say, "We don't do a lot of fitness"?
I heard. I
training
took
session?
notes. It's Tuesday, August 19th is when that game shows up.
Okay.
So mark your calendars. Mark your
Nothing I do
calendars,
is a
everybody.
secret. I promise you, everything I have is either stolen from another coach. I will tell you exactly what we're trying to do. May the best team win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Autumn, tell us a little bit about, I know high school season starting for you. Can you talk about what you're stepping into and what it looks like for you as a coach this year?
Yeah, I just stepped in on Thursday of this past week as head coach for Canterbury girls soccer program. And so I've been doing all of the training videos that coaches have to complete, concussion protocol, all that fun stuff. So my weekend has been filled with lots of videos and certifications and trying to prep for what preseason is going to look like tomorrow. And I'm kind of like Micah here. We only have one practice for an hour and a half. I'm not as nice as Micah. I will be adding some fitness in, but that's okay. I think it's so good for them either way. But like Mike, I also agree with Micah's philosophy. If you're moving properly for 90 minutes, you're still moving. But I will be throwing in a fitness test here or there just to nudge them a little bit. It's good for them.
Fantastic.
Builds character.
Yeah, builds character. I don't know about you guys. When I played high school soccer, we would run hard one day and we'd like do distance, like slow distance the next day. And we would do this for like 2 weeks leading up to the season. But when we got to like the week before season starting, we would do a lot of fitness stuff, right? And we would sprint. We would do sprints, like 400-meter sprints. And if everybody didn't cross the line in under a minute, everybody had to run again, right? That is fast. 60 seconds, 400 yards in 60 seconds. That is pretty darn quick, especially for high school players who probably just came off of eating a stack of pancakes before they left home to train, right? And so we would go. They knew we weren't all going to do it. And so what you started noticing your sophomore year, who knew freshman year, you know what you're getting into. Sophomore year, junior year, you're like, we're going till somebody throws up. When somebody throws up, we will stop. Yep. And so we're like, who's it going to be? Who's going to do it? So we got guys over on the side, like, sticking their finger in their throat, trying to throw up so we can stop running. We knew how it worked. We hated it. I was never that guy. I was like, I'll just keep running and it hurts so bad. I'm not going to make myself vomit.
I just remember when I was in high school for the first 3 days, we didn't wear cleats. Like we were on a track running. And I remember looking around and like, did I just join the track team? Like what just, I thought we're soccer, right? But it's nice to see that things are starting to change a little bit. We don't see a lot of that. We do see some of it, but we don't see that. I think the quality of coaching has definitely improved over the last, 25 years since I was in high school.
No doubt. Because we got guys like you, and we've got women like Autumn that are coaching teams. Christina's in the chat, says a beep test still haunts me some days.
Yeah.
I did not know what the beep test was till I got to college.
Same.
And then it tore me up, man. I hated that. Anyway, thanks for jumping in the chat tonight, Christina. If there are others of you in the chat, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know where you're listening from. Let us know where you're at. If you're a Fort Wayne fan or you're listening from somewhere else, because we have David coming on here real soon. Love to know where you are at. And if you've got questions for David when he gets on the show here tonight, go ahead and drop those in the chat. We can't promise we'll get to all of them, but we'll get to a few of them at least. And we'll toss a few questions his way. We do want to thank our sponsor tonight, OmniSource, who has jumped in as a full year sponsor. And we're grateful for their sponsorship of the show here and their belief in us to bring great quality soccer content to the Fort Wayne community. So thank you, OmniSource, for jumping on board. If you're interested in supporting Fort Wayne Footy as a sponsor, we do have a sponsor kit we'd love to send out, share with you what we have to offer, and what you can get as a sponsor. So let us know. Drop us a note on Facebook, here in the chat, on YouTube, or send us an email. Maybe it's preferable to info@fortwaynefooty.com, and that way we can get you all the information that you would need as a sponsor for Fort Wayne Footy. We do, guys and girls, know that we've got a store open that is closing tonight at midnight. You have a little bit of time left to pick up your Fort Wayne Footy gear that we've talked about the last 2 weeks. Store closes tonight at midnight. One other thing that we're launching tonight is our Patreon, the Fort Wayne Footy Patreon page. If you are interested in supporting Fort Wayne Footy, you like the content that we're putting out and additional content that we're going to share only on Patreon, exclusively for Patreon listeners and supporters, check us out over there. We'll put the link here in the chat in a little bit. And to encourage you to do so, check this out. If you purchase something from the Fort Wayne Footy store tonight during the program from 9:12 p.m. until 10 p.m., if you purchase something tonight from the Fort Wayne Footy store, our link is still up on social media. Check that out. We'll give you 1 month free of Patreon, so you can see what that looks like, what kind of content we're going to be pushing over there and sharing with you over there. So check that out. Here's what we need proof of, right? If you purchase something tonight, it can be a hat, a t-shirt, anything, the lowest tier, whatever you want to purchase. We just need a screenshot, send it to info@fortwaynefooty of the email header that shows your order number and the timestamp of when that came in. That's all there is. It's pretty simple. We'll get you a free month of Patreon so you can see us on the other side, as they say, right, Dustin?
Yep.
As they say. Yep. And we'll share some more content over there. So I think it's about time, gentlemen, that we welcome in our guest here, David Gerson. I'll bring him on the screen here, and we'll get things started. David, how are you tonight, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I got to tell you, that Fort Wayne FC kit is really nice, by the way.
It's pretty slick, isn't it? Yeah.
It's amazing. I was just checking it out. I was like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, they do a good job with the kits here in Fort Wayne, especially for a USL2 program. Like we talked about some other teams that came into town, and Dustin's like, "Is that their training kit or is that their actual uniform?" And Fort Wayne's putting out legit stuff here. So, anyway, David, we're glad to have you on the program. I know we've reached out to you, and I've seen your content popping up from Refs Need Love 2 on my Instagram for quite a while now, and we'll get into what that's about and how that got started here in a minute. But I know you're a referee. You had a passion and a purpose to just bring some education to the game a little bit. And there's a lot of ref abuse out there, and you have a passion and a purpose to alleviate some of that, and not just in soccer, but in all in all sports, right? Tell us a little bit about who you are before we get into your content, as who you are as a person, as a referee, as a coach, as a soccer fan.
Absolutely. So I will tell you just a little bit about me personally. My high school yearbook quote was, "It's better to stand alone for the right reasons than be together for the wrong." I've always been a kind of person who, if it needs to be said, say it. If someone needs to step up, I'll step up. I was captain of my rugby team in college. I've always been in leadership positions in business. I run my own business now. My wife has a business. But I definitely am someone who's, if a tough call needs to be made, I'm willing to take the responsibility and do it. And I think I'm well suited to be a referee. It's like that is part of me. I mean, I was a goalie, like in hockey growing up, and like in soccer I was a goalie. Like I can handle the pressure. Like if it comes down to it, someone needs to make a big stop. Put me in, coach. That kind of thing. And so when I was a player when I'm growing up, and then my son was a player and I was a coach, and then when the opportunity came for me to transition out of coaching to be just a parent, if you will, being a ref was a natural thing for me. My son wanted to get his first job at 10 years old. You used to be able to certify to get as a ref here in this country. At 10 years old, you get certified. And if I was going to be driving him to the field, it's like, I'll go ahead and do it too. I was a rugby referee in college after playing through 4 years of college. And so I just naturally gravitated to that role. But I will tell you now, as someone who has been a player, who has been a parent, who has been a coach, and been through the life of my son as a player as well, man, we really need to address the culture around youth sports in America. And I think it's all around the world, because we have lost the script. So refs need love too. Yes, it focuses on the referee, but it's a culture that we need to change in this country for the betterment of our children, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's about the next generation.
No doubt. Autumn, I think there's something about being a goalkeeper. Autumn and I both were growing up, and a lot of the guests that we've had on the show that are doing big things are like, I was a goalkeeper and growing up. There's something I think about that mentality, like, yes, bring it on. The pressure is on. I can handle it. I love it. So I love that's there in your background.
Mm-hmm.
David, I'm a huge fan. I just want to put that out there. I have been watching your content since October 17th, 2023. You actually did a video on one of my son's games. It was leading into the regional finals, final 20 seconds of the game, double overtime, just about to go into PKs, and there was a foul right outside the box. If you have time, go back, take a look at it.
I'm sure you remember it, right?
Yeah,
like specifically.
But and I appreciate how you approach it, where it's go back to the laws, read the laws out. This is what the thought process of the referees. So I appreciate that. And I actually send a lot of your content to my parents just to educate them and help them out. So from a standpoint of, where this came from, what inspired you to start this journey?
So I will tell you the honest truth. It started as a joke, like a complete joke. And that is not a lie. My wife was getting ready. She was, we hustle a lot at our house. We got a lot of different jobs that we do. My wife also does a lot of movie extra work here or in the Atlanta area. And so she needed a costume that didn't have a brand on. I was like, oh man, you should use my referee uniform. It'd be great. And so she put it on. She's in the bathroom. She's making these like the flag signals. I'm like, show me offside, show me corner kick, show me throw in, like all this kind of stuff. And she was just messing around. And I thought it was funny, and she's cute. It was really like a funny moment. And I was like, oh man, I've never posted a TikTok, but I'll post this. I think it's funny. And it went viral. And so, 500,000 views later, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do something else. And so I started with all of these like funny, comebacks, things I could never say to parents or players or coaches on the pitch. I would never say as a referee, but this is a great thing to have fun with it. And all of a sudden I started getting referees who were saying to me, hey, I was racially abused. I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Hey, I had someone follow me to the car and threaten me. I don't know what to do. And so very quickly, it started to become a community, because I got to tell you, a referee is a very lonely life. Like if you are a coach in your club, you got other coaches you can talk to. Okay. If you're a player, you got other teammates you can talk to. If you are a referee, you're an independent contractor, usually doing it by yourself. You can't talk to your family about it. Your friends don't understand it. You are on your own. And that is why we lose over in my state of Georgia last year, between 2024 to 2025, we lost 87% of the referees, the first year referees who signed up, 87% did not come back. Now, the reasons why they list it is number one, spectator abuse, number two, coach abuse. But I would tell you number three, it's because they lack a community. Is they lack a group of people who can help gain perspective and be like, man, they're not yelling at you. It's not about you. It's about your call. It's about the jersey. It's about a misunderstanding, but it's not about you. Let's help deal with this and let's figure out how to move forward. But because they don't have that community, they fall out. And so the channel very quickly became a community. It was a voice for the voiceless. I mean, just like that thing you described about your child and this play happened. And it could be something where it's just angry and frustration. Why did this happen? Why didn't they make that call? Why didn't they show the card? And all of a sudden, I just take the emotion out of it. I'm like, okay, here was the situation. This is what was going on. This was the referee's angle on the play. Here's what they probably saw. This is what the laws say. Okay, in the future, maybe the decision could have been X. And all of a sudden, it takes this very highly charged situation, and we try and understand it through the laws of the game, and this human is refereeing it. And it's like, okay, I understand. And then we can all go forward and be happy about it. And be like, it's for now I understand. I have a deeper understanding, and I have an empathy for the person who had made that call. And that's what we need, man. We need a shared understanding. We all need to learn more. We all need to feel like we're a part of it together. The referee, the coach, the players, the parents, we're all part of this community, and we're all trying to grow the game together, better for the future for our kids. That's all it is.
Yeah. I love that, David. I think the idea of community in a lot of aspects of our lives is really, really important. We can go down that road another time, but I help moderate a Facebook group for YouTube creators as well. And that's one thing we talk about a lot is we just need community, because that can be a lonely place too. And I understand the referee, the role of a referee can be a lonely place as well. You've got to make some tough decisions, some tough calls, and half the people on the sideline aren't going to like it, whatever decision you make. You've got half the people that do not like you in that moment a lot of the time, right? So my question here, David, is I consider myself a pretty level-headed individual. And I listened to your podcast yesterday with Skye, Eddy, that I want to definitely point people to in our area, because she used that term level-headed parents, right? And I was like, oh, I've got a question about that for David. I consider myself a pretty level-headed parent on the sideline, right? When I'm watching my kids' team play. In fact, some of the parents will turn to me and go, was that the right call? Because they want to scream, and I want to no, let's just not listen, yell at the referee.
Listen, you are doing a great service there. Every team needs a referee whisperer. Someone who can just volunteer and be like, okay, this is a certified ref. And I didn't just get it yesterday. I've been doing it for 5 years. Here's what the referee might have seen. Here's what was going on there. Let's look at the laws of the game. And then everyone's like, okay. And I think it is a lot of times just a lack of understanding, and you're looking at it through your kid's eyes, you're living it through your child, right? And if your child gets called for a foul, your child's team gets called for a foul, or they're upset, you get upset. It's but if there's someone there who can calmly, and I did that for years, the referee whisper on my kids' team, it was so wonderful, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. And then they can reset and enjoy the game again.
Yeah. Now that I say that, and you've praised me for it, as a fan, right, of a professional game, why I do another podcast and we talk about referees all the time that, come in, and one that seems to really have something against the home team when he's in that particular stadium, right? And so we talk about this. So I'll be honest in that sense, but as a parent on the sideline, I feel like I can be pretty level-headed and whatever and watch the match. My question in that, though, is the reason I try and do that is because I've been out on the field. I've been a player. I was a referee temporarily, but I got caught watching the game too much and not making the right calls. So I was not a good referee. My question then is, as a referee, especially in the middle of the field, the head referee, what are the things that you're watching? Because you've got to manage a lot of stuff, a lot of players, a lot of calls. What are the things that you have your eye on that, maybe parents aren't necessarily looking at from their perspective?
My gosh, I will tell you, if you want a cleansing experience, and I'm talking a mentally, deep meditative state in the flow, come be a referee, because there's, as you said, there's so much going on, right? Yes, there's the game, right? There's the ball and the play that's happening there, but you're so right. There's the energy, where are we? What's going on? Has this team had a rough season? Is this for the championship? Is that player, how many fouls has that player had on this other player here? Was there a little chippiness there? Is, coach upset over there? What's going on with it? There's a lot of stuff that you could possibly taking in just about the match, managing the moment and the match, and also trying to manage within the spirit of the game, and then also what those teams need, right? Because I will referee a U10, recreational match very different from an MLS Next U19 academy match. Like, they want something different out there. They want to play through contact. There's going to be more physicality. At U10, U12, no one wants to see their kid knocked down at all. Even if it might have just been clumsy and they were tripping over their feet, like, they're just so much more sensitive to how it appears and how it looks. So I would tell you, I can't just say it's one thing. I mean, a good referee has a sixth sense about them, and they can feel what the match requires in the moment and respond to what is needed in that moment. I mean, obviously implementing the laws of the game to their best of their ability, but also knowing when to let things go, and let it play, and then also when to pull it on in and be like, okay, I need to have a word with this person over here. They're in the red mist reptilian, brain, and they are out of control. And I need to calm it down. Like, yo, let's take a walk, bro.
Yeah.
How you doing? You okay? How you feeling right now? Are you still want to play this game? Because I'd love to keep you on the pitch, but right now, I don't know. I mean, and that's what makes it a great referee. And I will tell you that the modern day MLS referee that we're seeing in the United States and also around the world, they are much more, as opposed to domineering, and it's all about the ego and asserting their authority. And you see a lot more people who are all about like trying to be, a player's referee and trying to find common ground. I mean, you look at what Tori Penso's been doing. Unbelievable. Ismail Elfath, I mean, fantastic. Hector Rivas, like all these people, they really have just a more of a sense of calm about them, and they're trying to bring emotions down and trying to be, a counselor as opposed to someone who's trying to stamp their authority on the match. Now, you could still disagree with their call, but I think that the goal right now is to create referees who are maybe a little bit more personable and a little bit more approachable.
Yeah. David, you mentioned Tori Penso, and I was going to ask you about that because you did a video about a call she made in a game that I was watching, right? Cincinnati and Miami. Mascherano got a little heated about a call she made, and she had a way of de-escalating it. She had a nasty look for him, like, you better calm down before I get over there. What was it in that moment that you saw in Tori Penso that de-escalated that and if people are interested, I know it's on your social media, but what did you see in that moment that helped her really de-escalate that situation with Mascherano?
Yeah, so she was actually giving eyes to one of his assistants, by the way. So because again, you're only allowed one coach up in the technical area, and this other guy had been yelling at her, and so that's kind of a no. Really, we want to keep our conversations with the head coach and deal with that one person. But by the time he got up to Mascherano, I mean, again, he's a center back, Premier League. This is a big guy, and he was like leaning in on Tori, right? I mean, if you saw that on the street, you would be like, whoa, that is completely unacceptable behavior. But Tori, kind of judoed. She kind of took his energy in. She didn't react. She didn't pour fuel on the fire. She didn't yell back or anything like that, or come at it with this very angry attitude to him. She it's just like she was such, maybe she's not physically a bigger person, but man, the way she responded to that, she was the bigger person. Like, she showed courage and grace and empathy. And the way she did that is like, hey, I hear you. You are upset right now, but you are engaged in public, persistent dissent. And that's like the whole thing, like that whole moment. It's like, I understand you're upset, but you can't do this. Here's your card. We need to move on. And then he moved on, right? Like, he walked away, he had his outburst, and he moved on. But it's like, gosh, the inner, strength and fortitude. I mean, my gosh, if my daughter, grows up strong and as confident and as graceful and as intelligent as Tori Penso, man, we've done a great job as parents.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm telling you that. Yeah,
I feel like I feel like I've seen a lot of female referees recently that have really done a great job of handling, because I think sometimes men can think that they can overpower, they can feel like they're intimidating towards female referees. I've been really impressed with a lot of MLS and EPL, like when I've seen female refs just hold their ground and to be able to like calm down the situation. It's been really cool to watch. But
wasn't there a female referee that did the Gold Cup final, USA Mexico? Wasn't that a female referee?
I believe so. Yeah, it was an all-female crew, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was and I don't remember her name. I don't remember the crew, but I was impressed with how she managed the players.
Yeah.
Especially when they're surrounding her and she stood her ground. I'm like, okay, I see that.
Yeah.
So we have, it's wonderful. Now I will tell you, the the professional referee organization, and U.S. Soccer have something called the Women's Initiative right now, where they're really trying to support and create community. This is so important. Create community. Because I have to tell you, and I've seen the numbers, it's something that's only about, like, at the new referees, it's like 30% of referees are female when they first get certified. But I have to tell you, as you move to the higher levels, man, it's like maybe 5% or 10% are doing the level of games that I'm doing. And it's just, they don't feel supported. They don't feel community. There's a lot of chauvinism, and there's a lot of nasty behavior, and it may not be overt, but it's very subtle. And the way people treat female referees and don't value them out there, and even these older referees as well. I mean, what are they doing to help create a welcoming community and really making sure that these young women feel supported? It's a serious issue. I will tell you, we are better when women are in the room. We are better as a sport and a community when more women are engaged and are empowered out there. And I will tell you, the young girls on the pitch love seeing a woman as their referee, or another young woman as their referee out there. It is fantastic. So I'm telling you, we need to do more of supporting these young women so that they stay in it longer and they can, grow up to be the next Tori Pensa, right? I mean, we want to see this happen. I promise you, we will be better for it.
Yeah.
Our fans will tell you the same thing. When Autumn is not available to be on the show, they get on our case big time, because we're better when Autumn is here. So thank you for echoing that.
Absolutely.
I wanted to jump in, and Brian mentioned it a little bit earlier about the crazy parent, the crazy soccer parent on the sideline. I'll be honest, I've been that before back in the beginning, because I think more so because I just didn't understand 100% what was going on. What would you say to those parents, the parents that are U10, U11, U12, that are losing their mind because Bobby out on the field just elbowed their son, went down the field, and then their son went down and then hit him, and they got the card, and Bobby didn't get the card? How would you, or what would you want them to know? What would you want them to say, to hear in that moment, to kind of take a step back and understand what's going on?
Brother, okay, so first I want to absolve you of your sins, you're forgiven.
Thank you.
I get it. I get it. Like, I totally understand. It is the most important, unimportant thing in the world. Okay, it is the most important, unimportant thing in the world. In that moment of time, there's nothing bigger than what's going on right there. Your child is competing, and they're working hard, and you want them to experience joy, and they want them to experience success. And you certainly do not want to see your child injured, without a doubt. No doubt. No one wants to see that, whether or not they're injured, getting, hurt or fouled or something like that. It's literally your mama bear, papa bear instincts come out to want to protect, want to protect. I will say, and I just want to, and I know this is overly simplistic, but those parents who are on the sideline, screaming, kick, pass, shoot, switch, press, or they're complaining about, well, we'll deal with that. The parent who wants to be involved in every single play. Okay. You're hurting your kid. You're not helping them. You're not doing anything. You're helping your kid. If anything, you're destroying them. Okay. First off, they don't want to hear you. They're sick and tired of hearing your voice. You're destroying their soccer IQ. Shut up. You're not helping them. Your coach, the kid's coach, they don't want to hear you either. You're killing it. Then when something bad happens and your kid gets fouled, okay, or they call for a foul, you yelling at the referee, what example are you providing for your child? That you want them to, yell every time an authority figure tells them that they've done something wrong, and you want them to complain and you want them to be petulant. Great example you're setting for your kid. Again, a horrible thing that you're doing for them. And then again, when there is maybe they have been, fouled or something of the nature, or you think there should have been a foul called. Listen, man, life is not fair. Bad things are going to happen. It is a fact of life. It is better for your child to learn how to develop their own self-coping mechanisms and learn how to respond and react on their own than you trying to come in and deal with everything for them. Okay. Yeah. It is not good. I will tell you, my children have learned so much more through the difficult periods in their life, through the, the losses in their life than they have through the wins. Okay. Yep. It has made them who they are today. It has given them grit and resilience and strength. Okay. And that is what the difference is between, someone who's successful in life and someone who's dependent and constantly complains all the time in life. Yep. So I would just, really try and get them to think about, okay, what are we trying to accomplish here? What's most important? What are the lessons we want to teach our kids? And just try and go into that game. I'm here. I want to support my kids. I want to create a positive environment. That's all I want to do. What are the behaviors that are going to help us create that positive environment? Is yelling at the referee or yelling at another child going to help that? Probably not.
I loved your podcast that you just did, where you were talking about the stress associated with being that parents bring into the game and that they bring into. And so I think that plays a major role. And I think if parents can understand and try and take a breath and just try and breathe before the game, and even in the midst of the game, I think it would solve a lot of issues for not only for referees, but also for, just for parents in general that are sitting on the sidelines that don't want to sit next to, Timmy's mom who's screaming at the referee all game. And so I loved that. I loved you guys that talk about that. And so that's great advice for parents for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to speak to that just for a second, because I think that's, as a player on the field, when I was playing, I was the same way, right? Like, please shut up, mom, dad. Like, I don't need to hear you. I'm tuning you out anyway. You don't I'm not listening to a word you say. I hear your voice, but it's just like, the Charlie Brown teacher, wah, wah, right? When my son comes off the field and we talk about the game or whatever, and sometimes he'll say so-and-so was playing right back in the first half of the game and they switched to left back. Why did they do that? And they're like, he doesn't want to be on the sideline where the parents are. He asked the coach to move over there. And so, and then there are other times where the players come off and we're like, what, that foul, you got hit hard. Like, the ref didn't call. He was like, yeah, I totally deserved that. Players know what they're doing and they know when they're getting under the other team's skin, and they know when things are coming. And so to let them play, and for us to be able just to celebrate what our kids are doing, cheer on their good plays, and just take the hard plays as they come. I think you're totally right. I 100% support that we're not doing our kids a good service by shouting and screaming at every play. So thank you for saying that as a referee. And I'm certain too, as a ref, when you hear so and so screaming at you all the time, you're not encouraged to give them the next call. Right. Not that you're going to be fair and unfair or whatever, not give them the call, but you're not like, oh yeah, I should have made that call. I'll make it next time. Thanks for yelling at me.
Yeah. Changes your mind.
It is really funny. It is counterintuitive what happens. So first off, let me just say, for new referees out there, most of them are teenagers. It's a first job. Now, there are plenty of referees. So I do, next Sunday, I've got another first-time referee course that I'm teaching. And in that room, there'll probably be 3 people who are 30 and above and 30 people who are 18 and below, right? It's a great first job. These are kids. They love the game. They want to earn a little money. I mean, there's no other job you can work at 13, 14, 15 years old where you can earn $250 in a weekend. Like legit, and not even crazy hard, like working U8, U10 games, 30 minutes at a time here. It's wonderful. Choose your schedule. It's fantastic. But none of these kids ever have had a grown-ass adult, not related to them, right, scream at them from 10, 15 feet away or something like that, irate, getting up out of their chair like they're going to attack someone. That's never okay. Never okay. Ever okay. But it happens all the time. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, I will tell you, so as an adult who has refed, over 1,000 matches now, probably close to 1,500 matches now. If someone's yelling at me, the last thing I want to do is call a foul because they're yelling for you to call a foul.
Yeah.
Because if I call that foul, well, all I'm going to do is reinforce and give them positive reinforcement. Oh, they're yelling, therefore I blew the whistle. They think, if I yell more, he'll call more fouls for my team. No, absolutely not. And yes, and again, we're humans. We're not robots. Maybe eventually it will be robots. Who knows? But right now, it's human beings. And I can't shut my ears off. Okay, we have earlids. We don't have eyelids. I hear everything. You think you're just talking to the parent sitting next to you? No. I can hear you say it out loud. I promise you. Even all the way across the field, we hear you. It's never going to have a good effect. I mean, yes, there are times when I walk off the field and I'm like, man, I'm so glad that team lost. Not that I changed my calls, but I'm like, really whiny coach. Therefore, you're going to get really whiny parents and really whiny kids on the pitch. And so, I don't feel bad when they lose. Just saying.
I've got two questions kind of to wrap up here, David. I really appreciate your time and want to respect your time too. But I know there's been some recent new laws of the game, new rules go into play as far as, who can talk to a referee, when you can talk to a referee. Is it the captain? Is it the coach? Can any player approach a referee? How are those rules, as they've been enacted, how have they impacted your role as a referee? Has it been helpful? Are we moving in the right direction here, or are these just, are we just resigning ourselves to, okay, we've got to limit who can even talk to the referee because it's getting so bad?
So, yes, I think we're moving in the right direction. I just want to say before we wrap, Christina Copeland in the comments has been lighting it up in here. And she's got
Yes, she has. Yes, she has.
I want to make sure, Christina, I see you and I hear you, and hopefully we'll have time and we can address a few of these things.
I definitely want to send you this video at some point. She wants you to look at. So there you go.
No problem. I'm happy to look at anything. Send it to refsneedlove2@gmail.com. I'll look at it for you, and I'll give you my honest opinion. Always. Sometimes I have to ask people, like, do you want my support or do you want my opinion? Like, let me know. It could be a different answer. Okay. So let me just say this. Yes, we're moving in the right way. So in the United States, we now have the brand new, updated referee abuse policy, which specifically covers coaches, players, team officials as it relates to treatment of referees. And that has been long coming. And now we've really kind of codified exactly what is verbal abuse, what is physical abuse, and what are the punishments of that. And specifically really trying to protect our minor referees under 18 years old. And the punishments for that are severe. I mean, the minimum punishment, if you get a red card for yelling something, insulting to a minor referee, is 6 games. That's like half the season that someone could be suspended for. Just that's the minimum, one time. And if you do that 3 times, it could be a lifetime suspension. So they're very serious suspensions. Also, in the laws of the game now, they've codified this thing called only the captain. So it's going to take a while for people to learn, just like the new 8-second rule. It's going to take a while for people to learn how to implement that. But there's a signal now that referees have, if they're being crowded by someone beyond just the captain, 2 or more people, that they can put their hands up and point like straight ahead. That's kind of the motion. Sorry if you can't see it right here. And that signal means only the captain. Everyone else back away. If you do not, it's immediately a yellow card if they do not immediately retreat. And I think that's important because we want our referees to be able to have conversations with the captain, right? And it's not that I can't only talk to the captain, but I don't want to be crowded by 3 people and have to be a threatening experience. I want to have dialogue with all the people on the pitch if the opportunity allows, without a doubt. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I think the pendulum swang way too far. We need to come back, to rational, dialogue and treating referees like they are part of the same community. Because again, without referees, there is no game. And I'm telling you, a good referee makes the soccer experience amazing. A bad referee, a poorly trained and unconfident referee who's afraid to blow the whistle, sucks. Let me tell you, it is brutal. And again, I'm a ref. I've been to plenty of matches where the referee has been pretty awful. It is not fun, man. But the answer is not yell at that ref, right? Okay, that's not going to make the situation better. The answer is investing in better training and better support, without a doubt. And if you think you can do better, come try. We would love to see you come out there and do it. I tell you, spite is a great reason to become a referee.
We hear that in our pre-game high school soccer announcements up here. If you think you can do better, we can.
Anyway. Excuse me. I love that. I wish high school spectators are the absolute worst. The nastiest things I've ever heard yelled are at high school matches because they're really far away from the pitch. It's kind of anonymous. It's this like mob mentality. You got a lot of people who have not, really don't understand the laws of the game, and it's really, really bad at high school. I mean, some of the most disgusting things I've ever heard said about referees are at high school matches. It's a thing. It's a thing. Okay, can we please answer one of Christina's questions?
Absolutely, absolutely. Which one do you want when you show up to work?
So many. She said Stephanie Farpar is the go-to referees. Absolutely, she's unbelievable. Stephanie, talk about trailblazer in Europe. I think in America, we're with Title IX, we've seen women be in leadership, especially in sports, especially in soccer. Decades before the rest of the world. Stephanie, let me tell you, France can be a pretty chauvinist country, and I will just say that it can be. There's a lot of traditional, it's not the Italian machismo, but it's not far off. I just got to say that. So she's done amazing things there. One other thing I saw her, she said about here is like, do I show up to games and get the, hey, I know you all the time? So there's the TikTok ref. And let me tell you, it's wonderful. I have to budget an additional 30 to 40 minutes after my matches because I'm signing autographs, I'm taking pictures. But again, I love it because I want kids to be like, oh, that's a cool referee. Oh, I love that. Oh, we had him on our game. He was awesome. Like, I'm trying to be an ambassador for refs. Historically, refs are, you can't talk to them. Professional refs can't say anything. They can't explain their decisions. They have no social media. You don't know who they are. It's like, I'm trying to break those barriers. I want people to be like, oh man, refereeing can be fun. You can actually be a nice person and be a referee. It can be a great game. Like, that's awesome. So I get that a lot. Hey, it's the TikTok ref. And there's nothing bad about that at all. I love that stuff. So all good.
Plus they're listening. They're listening to you. Like if they know you and they recognize you, they're watching you, they're listening to you, they're becoming educated. I think that's key more than anything.
Oh, absolutely. All the kids who come up to me, I watch your channel all the time. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this. Like, it is the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, they're learning the laws of the game, and I'll tell you, they will be better players. Okay. Two things. Not only will they be better on the pitch because they understand the laws of the game, especially my goalkeepers out there. There's a lot of things for goalkeepers to know, but they can respectfully have a conversation with the referee and, maybe point out something the referee wasn't aware of or didn't know, and may get something beneficial for the team. And also they'll know how to play within the laws of the game. So they're not picking up silly cards. They're not picking up red cards, something like that. It's like, they will be better players because they know the laws of the game. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a comment here from Jeannie Wilt, who's one of our district referees here in the area.
Love you, Jeannie.
Says
I don't know you, but I love you.
There's a new ref class coming soon, and so we can hook up any parent who's interested in taking that referee class and learning a little bit more of the game. Jeannie, thanks for joining us tonight. I know we've got some other referees in the comments and in the watching the stream tonight. David, I again appreciate you being here tonight. Where we've talked about refsneedlove2.com, we've talked about TikTok, we've talked about Instagram. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you if they've got questions or if they want to send a video clip and say, can you put this on your channel? What's the best way for someone to find you?
Okay, so I can't promise you I'll put it on my channel. There has to be something that's a learning opportunity in it. Like I get a lot of, I'll just tell you, I get a lot of clips sent to me, and it's like, referee obviously made a mistake. Okay, what do you want me to say about that?
Good. Yeah.
Like, great, referee's human. Missed that. Okay, move on. And so I don't, you'll see that when I put things on my channel, it's almost always because there's a learning opportunity involved. It's a rare, incidents. Oh, you don't see that very often. Let's talk about that. Oh, I haven't seen that very often. Let's talk about that. Maybe there's a big controversy where people understand. Let's talk about that. That's generally what I put on my channel. But I will say, I review every single thing that's sent to me, whether you DM me on Instagram or TikTok, or you send it to me, refsneedlove2@gmail.com. It may take me a couple weeks. Honestly, I get about 20 to 30 a day. But if you send it to me, I promise you'll get a response. I promise you I'll give you my honest opinion on it, on anything that's sent my way.
Awesome.
Well, David, thanks again for being part of the show tonight. I've loved your content. And one last comment I just wanted to throw up here is, let me find it here. Christina early in the chat says, I've not seen There we go.
Yes,
I don't know if I've
throw
seen
him
Micah
under.
fangirl so hard. Micah's a
Yes.
big fan of David
I
Gerson.
just
and refs
appreciate
love
what you're
it.
doing from the educational standpoint. It's made me a better coach. I can tell you that. Just really going into the laws of the games. If I'm fangirling, so be it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Let me tell you, the relationship between the referee and the coach is so critical. All right.
Yeah.
We are there in service to the game, for the kids. And if we have trust between each other, okay, and it's got to be earned, right? Like when I show up to the pitch, I'm trying to build rapport with that coach, trying to open up lines of communication. And, there may be something in the match that you don't understand, or you might be upset. I want to be able to have a conversation with you and help you understand, what I saw in that play. And a great referee has the ability to have that conversation and also has respect of the coach's job, who's got to keep the kids motivated and also has to deal with all those parents, post-match and them being upset too.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, man, as a referee, I have a lot of respect as Coach Ken. I've been a coach many times in my life as well. Trust me, I appreciate you too. And the only way we're going to grow this game is if we can find good ways to work together and build community amongst each other.
Yeah.
Fantastic. David, we've referenced your podcast a little bit on the show tonight. So Refs Need Love 2 is a podcast we would point you to as well.
Yeah.
Specifically, the one that you just released on Saturday with Skye, Eddy was fantastic about that crazy parent on the sideline and the education there. So we will share that. We'll put that in the description of this video when we release it right after this interview. So David, once again, thanks for being here. I know you're away out of town with your family, with your son, I believe. So enjoy your time. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join us here on Fort Wayne Footy.
It's absolutely my pleasure. If there's anything I can ever do for any of you, please do not hesitate to ask.
Fantastic.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Have a great night.
Good night, guys. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Fun interview.
That was cool.
Before we get into transition to next topics, right? What's a takeaway that, as you heard David talk tonight, what's a takeaway that you had? Autumn, I will start with you because you were quite silent during that interview there. Taking it all in, huh?
I am. I'm taking it all in. There was moments where he was talking about parents going crazy, and I'm sitting here reflecting on my childhood. And my mom ate lollipops to keep her mouth shut, especially as a goalkeeper parent. That's one of the most probably anxious positions your child could play. And I'm not gonna lie, I got hurt a lot. And so when I'm hearing all these stories of parents going crazy, I'm like, just eat a lollipop, have a bag, share them. It'll help.
My wife sometimes takes bags of lollipops to volleyball matches and passes them out.
Yeah. My mom always had her soccer bag, and she had a bag of them. Yeah. It's a neat trick. You should try it sometime.
Right.
But no, I was a ref, so I'm thinking back to my experiences when he's talking, and I was like, when I got my first center, I was like, oh my gosh, what is my life what's gonna happen in this game? I've been a ref that's been screamed at. I've been a ref that has had people in my face, and I never wanted the parent sideline again because it was traumatizing. And it's we're just trying to play a game of soccer at U10. This is not the professional league here. So everything, I was quiet because I was taking it all in and reflecting. But I really like his statement at the end before he left, and that was, if we can all come together and have an understanding and respect, we can kind of up the game, right? And come together as one to better the next generation. And, as a coach, it's I have to, not that I usually try to keep my cool as a coach. Always has as a captain, not been in refs' faces because I've been there. I've done that. I've been that ref, right? And so even long before I was a coach, I had that experience. But even now, it's your kids are watching your every move. How you treat the referees is how they're going to treat your referees. And so I really also took heart into what he was saying when it comes to a coaching level of respect. If there's that mutual understanding, you're probably not going to agree with every call, right? Because we don't have the angles that they do.
Right.
But if you can still have that trust and understanding and respect level with one another, for me, what are my girls going to do? They're going to have the same thing. So those two things I think really stood out to me in what he was talking about tonight. I just think overall in general, though, he's got a wealth of knowledge. He's a great guy. A lot of good content tonight for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt. Micah, you have a takeaway, something you picked off from that interview?
I mean, I can't say any better than what Autumn just said, right? Like, it's at the end of the day, we're here for the kids, whether it's a coach, referee, and kids, they're always watching. So if we can come together, have that understanding, model the behavior that we want our kids to show, I mean, it's only going to better them and better the game.
Yeah. Dustin, anything?
That was one of the things I was going to say. The other thing that I was going to say was I was really intrigued by the fact that being a referee is so isolating, and the community aspect of that was really, really intriguing to me, because you don't think about that. You don't think about the fact that, like, you go home and nobody understands what you went through. It's you on the pitch and that's it. And that can be super isolating across the board for people. Community is so important. And so the fact that he's really bringing community to the referee world, I really love that. I really loved what he said about that.
Yeah, it seems like it was ripe for what he's doing, for referees to see somebody out there educating in a fun, enthusiastic way, educating not only referees on, specific plays and laws of the game, but parents as well, and fans and coaches about everything that he's doing. I think, again, we just want to point you, if you're listening tonight, to refsneedlove2.com, or find him on social media at refsneedlove2. A lot of great content. I know Jeannie was joking a little bit, sort of, maybe not joking, about parents taking a referee class. Definitely encourage, find out, learn the laws of the game as a parent. That's one thing that does frustrate me on the sideline, is when parents are yelling and screaming about something that, I'm like, that's not even a rule. Like, that it just doesn't, you can't call a foul for that, because that's not even in the rule book, right?
Yeah.
But it's just an education thing. And again, I want to point you to the podcast that David did with Skye, Eddy. We'll drop that in the description later after the show tonight, because I do think it's worthwhile. I remember I joked about it. My 2 or 3 experiences as a ref. I don't know that I did many more games than that. I think I did a full season, but I don't remember much. I just remember watching, I'm running down the sideline. It's like a U10 game, right? And there's 2 referees on the field. We don't have ARs. There's just 2 of us. And a ball gets kicked and it's in the net, but there's a hole in the net on the outside of the net. And so it's hard to tell if the ball went behind the post and through, or in front of the post and through. And I'm just sitting there going, man, what are they going to call? And I went, I'm the ref. I need to make this call. And I called it no goal. And parents were angry. Like, I was on that side of the field for the team that was defending, and those parents were not happy with me. And so I was like, no, it's no goal. It's no goal. It went behind the post. Right or wrong, I don't know. There's no video review, right? But I just remember that as a moment of, like, I don't ever want to do this again. And there was a referee that was coming, like, he was watching the game, he was reffing the next game, and he was not a referee that, as a player, I had a whole lot of respect for, because I didn't think he called good games, right? And he tells me, he walks up to me after this and he puts his arm around me. I was like twice his size at that point. I was in high school, and he puts his arm around me and he says, sometimes when there's calls like that and you don't know what call to make, sometimes I just listen to the parents and call what they see. And then I was like, what? No, like, I didn't respect you in the first place, and I totally don't now.
Lost it even more. Yeah.
And so those are, some of the referees that I grew up around. So I love that there's someone like David out there doing what he's doing, educating refs, educating fans, educating coaches and players even on the laws of the game in such a fun, enthusiastic way. So it's been a fun night. That interview went a little bit longer than we anticipated, but it was great talking with him. I know, this week, we talked about it earlier, high school season is kicking off. There is there's something special in the air, at least in my house. And a lot of it is just the smell of shoes and shin guards.
Yeah.
But
in the car.
Yes. Yeah. Right. But there's a lot to get excited about this time of year. I know with college and high school stuff kicking off, I'm really looking forward to this week of tryouts and getting to know some new players that are, these incoming freshmen that are coming out to the games or coming out to tryouts. Man, it's going to be a fun season. Next week, we're going to do a preview show of high school soccer in the area. We'll have guests that are most familiar with women's high school soccer and a guest who's most familiar with men's high school soccer. And we'll preview Fort Wayne area high school soccer next week. And I know we've got a couple coaches on the show tonight. We'll try and remain as neutral as we possibly can in these interviews. And but we're looking forward to that preview show. As we wrap up tonight, guys, it's 10 o'clock now. We'll give you 2 more minutes to purchase your Fort Wayne Footy gear if you want a free subscription to Patreon. As we wrap up tonight, as you look forward to the high school season, we've got parents, we've got coaches here. What's the thing that you most love about high school soccer?
The camaraderie. And in fact, I asked my son that, what is he looking forward to this year? And they've had some success over the last couple of years. So I think they want to maintain that standard. But he said, I just want to hang out. I just want to ball out. Be with my friends. I'm like, awesome, man. Just win some games, but go ball out. I'm also looking forward to August 19th. So put that on your calendar.
Noted. It's on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, everyone knows. Everyone.
Can we do a live show?
It.
Dustin, can we do a live show?
Let's do it. And we can
let's
read their faces. We can read Autumn and Micah's faces and basically know what they're saying and thinking.
Let's mic up or something in the stands. Dustin,
actually, that'd be kind of fun. You should do that.
It'll be at Canterbury, so I mean, might have a little bit of advantage, but that'd be a lot of fun. Canterbury's a tough place to play. I've never enjoyed going there.
Well,
Beautiful.
Sorry, buddy, you're gonna have to buck it up.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm just kidding.
The trash talk.
Our field is
begins.
a little. It is. Yeah. It's a
That-
little rough. I'll give it to you.
That little student section that you guys have behind the goal it's
intimidating.
It's tough
It
to
is.
manage.
People warned me last year, and we didn't have very many home games last year. And the first one, I was like, oh, they weren't kidding.
It's no
It's
joke.
small but mighty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My girls will be ready though. They know what to expect. We've been there before.
Awesome.
Oh gosh.
Justin, as a parent, what are you looking forward to going into high school season?
Yeah, I love seeing the new kids come out. I love seeing some guys step up and take leadership responsibilities. I love when, you see guys move up to varsity and then some kids that played JV last year step up into leadership positions. I love watching that. I love seeing the boys and the girls develop from last year to this year and kind of, it's a new team every year. It's always a new team, new boys, new girls that come in. And so it's fun to get to see the identity that they take on. I think that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah. Autumn?
I would kind of go along the lines of what Dustin said. As a coach, you get to see the growth and development. For me, I think this is going to be a unique year for me. Just because I had some girls at the middle school level this past spring, and now they're going to be in the fall. And I'm kind of curious to see how they progressed over the summer months. But just overall, I'm excited for the development. That's one of my favorite parts about being a coach is seeing the development, not only with your technical skills, but as a human being. Right. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm also really looking forward to, there's something special about the girls that are going to be on this team this year where they're challenging each other. And I think you need that in life, whether that's on the field or off the field. And so for me, I have a unique position to see that as well. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah. That's deep. That's deep, Autumn. Going
Gotta
philosophical on us a little bit. I love it. I love it. I think for me as a coach, number one, I just love seeing players come back. I don't get to see them all play in their club seasons and they kind of all are in different places, different teams. Some traveled Indianapolis from here to play. And so when they come back for their high school season, like my son, for example, grew 6 inches over this off season. So it's what are they going to look like when they come back? How have they physically developed when they get back? This is a time when they're growing and whatever. Are they going to run like a giraffe, or are they going to be twice as fast as they were last year? Right. So that's fun seeing that. But personally, as a coach, I love getting out there with my goalkeepers, who may or may not get a lot of attention in the off season during club season. Some do, some don't. Depends on what they seek out. I love having that time with my goalkeepers out on the pitch, shooting balls, tossing balls, maybe hitting tennis balls at them at times. I know.
I was just going to ask, you still making them do that torturous drill?
Yep. I'll do it.
Boy.
I'll do it every season now that I know how much you loved it. So no, it's a good time.
Like a Happy Gilmore thing where you're throwing tennis balls at him while
I'm hitting him with the tennis racket.
One day Brian comes over and he's got this racket full of tennis balls with like a basket and then a racket. And I was like, we're going to play tennis. And he was like, no, you're going to sit in the goal and you're going to take these. And I was like, oh, never again.
She was saving a lot of them. It was great. She did a great job.
For your reaction, I'll give you credit.
All right. No, it's a good time. Tune in next week to Fort Wayne Footy for that high school preview show. I think it's going to be a good one. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll post the interview with David Gerson as a separate video. If you've been watching us, you've been following us a while, we've been posting some of the interviews we've done with Fort Wayne FC players and coaches as separate videos on our YouTube channel as well. So if you want to go back and catch those interviews without having to scrub through the whole hour-long show, they're available as separate videos over there. Check it out. Join us on Patreon. We'll put that link in the description once the show's over and in our podcast description later in the week. And we'll talk to you next week.